Okay, in this video I will present the difference between subroutine and function in Visual Basic for application. First of all, I have opened Excel. Okay, now I press Alt F11. I press Alt F11 again. Okay. I go here with a mouse, right click, insert module. Okay, so don't work in this module here, insert a new module specifically. Okay, now it's a good idea to save the file from here, from Excel, but when you save a file with some Visual Basic inside, please save it as XLSM. Okay, now I go back to Visual Basic. Okay, now difference between function and subroutine. First of all, a subroutine, it's practically a computer program. It can do everything. Okay, so it can interact with the user, asking him things. It can write on the screen. It can write on Excel worksheet directly. It can read from Excel worksheet directly. Okay, a function, on the other hand, it's simply something which will serve another program. Especially a function never interacts with a user, but never returns, never gives values on the screen and things like that. The only scope of a function is to return a value, or better, to return one value. So a function is able to return only one value, like the mathematical function square root, or square, or logarithm. It simply returns a value. The value may also be not numerical, clearly, but the value must be 1. It can be also an array, but one array, not one array and something else, or two arrays. No, it must be one item. Okay, let's see how to use subroutine and function. So I will first build a very easy subroutine. First, message box. Hello. Okay, this is a subroutine. Okay, you can run it simply going here in the middle of the function and clicking here. Okay, and you can, oops, sorry, message box, it's miswritten. Message box. Okay, okay, you can see it works fine. Okay, a subroutine can also have some parameters. Okay, so again, message box. Okay, a function with parameters. Let's see whether you can run from here. I don't think, but you never know. Okay. Sorry, it has the same name, so it call it second. Okay. As you can see, I try to click run, and the computer is asking me which function do I have to run, and suggest me to run function first. So function subroutine first. Subroutine second can therefore not be run directly. So we will write here this comment: cannot be run directly as it requires input arguments. Okay. So first thing, you can run subroutine directly from here, clicking here, only if the subroutine doesn't have argument. Typically the main subroutine. Okay. Subroutine with argument cannot be run from here. Function, let's see. A very easy function. Okay, sorry. Okay, function can never be run from here. So if you try to go here and click, it will ask you to run first, not multiply. So function also never, even when they don't have parameters, they cannot be run from here. Function, on the other hand, can be used in Excel sheet. So in Excel sheet you can set numbers here and use equal multiply a1 comma a2. Oops. a1 semicolon, sorry, a2. Okay, so you can see I am using function multiply as if it were a standard Excel function. It works. So it works even dynamically. Okay, so let's repeat. Subroutine can be run directly from here, clicking this bottom, only if they don't have arguments. If they have arguments, clearly you cannot run them directly from here, because you cannot submit the argument. Function can never be run from here, also in the case when they don't have argument, never can be run from here. On the other hand, function can be used in Excel sheet. This is also a good way to check whether your function works. If you want to check whether your function works, put it into Excel sheet like this and try to see whether it works with obviously compliant arguments. Okay. Another usage of functions and subroutine is to use them inside other subroutine. So typically you have a subroutine main which calls other subroutine. So this is a very stupid example. I have a subroutine main. The subroutine main is calling subroutine first. Okay. This call first is perfectly equivalent to taking everything which is here and writing it here. So it's typically used to avoid repeating the same long part of program over and over and over. Suppose, for example, you want to, suppose that first be very complicated and you want to do it 5 times. Well, instead of repeating the code here 5 times, you just call first 5 times, better with a for next loop. Okay, and you will do it. Hello, 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 hello. Okay. So a function can be called inside another, sorry, a subroutine can be called inside another subroutine. You can call even number equal 27, or better, dim number as integer, number equal 27, call second number, and then maybe just to make it a little more interesting, number plus 3 and number plus 6. Okay, so here I am calling the function second. It requires an argument, so I must provide the argument. In this case is number, number plus 3, number plus 7. Let's see, 27, 30, 33. Okay, so function can be easily called inside, sorry, subroutine can be easily called inside another subroutine. Functions. Function can also be used inside subroutine, but in a slightly different way. Dim n2 as integer, dim result. Okay, this example is really stupid. I could multiply the numbers directly, but I wanted to use the function. Okay, so here you can see I am using the function. As you can see, first of all, I don't use call. So you don't call functions. Second, and very, very important, the function multiply will return a value. I must put the value, the returned value, somewhere. So I am putting the returned value inside variable result. So you must always have a variable ready to get the returning value of the function. If you call it, if you use it in this way, it's possible to use it in this way, but the function will return a value, and the value will get lost because it goes into nowhere. Okay, so always have a variable ready to get the function result. Okay, let's see. Sorry, I have forgotten to say what are n1 and n2. Okay. Oops. Main already exists. Let's call it main2. 24. Okay, so this is the standard way to use functions inside subroutines. You can also simplify it a lot. For example, you can not use result and directly here. So in this way, oops, the function will return a value, and the value is used immediately by message box. Okay, so you are not forced to have a variable ready to get the value. You can use the value in a message box directly. You can use the value in a formula. Okay, but you must use it immediately. If you just write multiply in this way, it will return a value, and the value will be lost here because simply use the function, but the value is put nowhere. Here instead, the value returned by the function is used by message box. Let's see. Okay, 24. Okay, so this is the big difference. The big difference lies here. Functions are used, subroutines are called. Okay, here instead, the big difference is subroutine can be run directly from here if they don't have argument. Function never. Function, on the other hand, can be used directly in the Excel sheet.